I'm Tiffny Rhodius from the Guyana Revenue Authority. This week's focus: the control measures by Customs Petroleum Unit to monitor sufferance wharves, how central registration is improving its efficiency when it comes to printing tin certificates, and what construction materials do not attract VAT. These stories and more, this is Focus on GRA.
School is out and it's time to start buying those school supplies for your children. Here's how GRA can help. Textbooks, coloring books, craft books, dictionaries, pencils, erasers, crayons, lunch kits, scientific calculators, geometry sets, and many more essential school supplies are zero rated for VAT. School uniform garments for shirts, pants, skirts, kimonos, and dresses are also zero rated for VAT. So what are you waiting for? Get to shopping. GRA, your partner in development.
We want the best facilities that this country could ever see, the best infrastructure and public utility, the best education for children in this country, the best health services and public security. But if we want to see such development in every community, then we must be fair and pay we full share of taxes and duty. Want proper bridges and coca, pay your tax. Better roads and safer, pay your tax. Better electric power, pay your tax. Clear potable water, pay your tax. Better schools and teacher, pay your tax. Better nurses and doctor, pay your tax. Better police and soldier, pay your tax. For a better Guyana, pay your tax.
Meet Cindy.
Meet Shivani.
Cindy is using the old tax software to assist taxpayers,
While Shivani is using the new Optimal software, where everything is stored electronically and is easily accessible.
Optimal Revenue Management System. Let's get ready for 2021.
The GRA's Customs Petroleum Unit was established to focus on routine custom functions relevant to the oil and gas sector. Fabian Klaus tells us some of the control measures that the Customs Petroleum Unit has put in place to monitor activities between the shore base and the sufferance wharves.
Guyana recorded its first million-barrel lift of crude oil on February 19, 2020, a watershed moment in the country's history. Since then, there have been several other lifts via the Floating Production, Storage and Offloading FPSO vessel, popularly known as the Lizard 1 Destiny. All lifts have been recorded by Customs as part of its role in the petroleum export procedure. A Customs officer was assigned from the GRA's Customs Petroleum Unit, headed by the Deputy Commissioner Lancelot Wills, to be part of the crew on board the Lizard 1 Destiny.
From the very first lift, the division that I head here, Customs Petroleum, we have had a customs officer offshore. So we monitor all lifts. We've never failed to monitor a lift. There have been 30 lifts last year, and we're on our 29th or so, this 27 complete, 28 lift this year now, as we speak. So 58 lifts we've all witnessed.
Customs control in the oil and gas sector includes, among other things, documentary control, which also encompasses electronic submission of documents, and physical controls, which entails having an officer on board to verify the particulars declared by an importer, exporter, or agent.
Every time the officer reports offshore, they come with a suite of documents, which precedes them. It comes back from Exxon, hard copy to me, in the name of the Commissioner General. And then there's another copy that when the customs officer comes offshore, returns to shore, they would walk with. We match it back, ensure it's the right figures. We look at the submissions, ensure nothing is wrong. It's uploaded and it's filed for all of our processing purposes, risk management, post-clearance audits, and so on.
Customs control in the oil and gas sector are justified under the provisions in the Customs Act, Chapter 8201, relating to operating sufferance wharves, such as the Lizard 1 Destiny and the Guyana Shore Base Incorporated. It is at these locations that inward and outward voyages, loading and offloading of goods, and cross-border transactions of commercial and non-commercial goods, among other activities, take place. Customs must therefore maintain control to ensure conditions are met in keeping with the customs laws before, during, and after any activity at a sufferance wharf that involves trade or movement of cargo.
Physical controls, because the export, you see, notice it says customs related petroleum exports. It's not just the crude, it's everything else that comes into Guyana that goes into the process of production of crude. So every screw, nut, bolt brought into Guyana under the agreements. In some cases, they're exemptions. In some cases, some things are duty paid. Some cases, they're VAT, they're not. Most of them are not taxable. But whatever it is, the only way we can know and get the state's revenue in is by going through those lists in a very meticulous manner.
For control purposes, the floating production, storage, and offloading vessel is deemed both a sufferance wharf and a private warehouse. This requires the owner or occupier of the facility to provide the customs officer with the resources for examining, accounting, and securing goods as may be required. A sufferance wharf is any place other than an approved place of loading or offloading where the controller of customs may allow loading or unloading to take place at his discretion.
We recognize that, yes, they can facilitate the offloading and loading of goods and so forth. And if the situation so requires, then you designate them by way of approving application. The Commissioner General says, well, the ordinary wharves won't take these shipments off, either they're too dangerous, hazardous, or whatever reasons he have found to be justifiable. But we can offload here in the interim. And so we offload at that wharf.
A taxpayer identification number, or TIN, is a computer-generated number issued by the GRA. If you are conducting business with a government department or agency, commercial bank, or public corporation, you will have to apply for a TIN. Get the application form and information on supporting documents required at gra.gov.gy.
The Guyana Revenue Authority is pleased to introduce to you our Optimal Revenue Management System. You don't have to stand in line. File your tax online. At GRA now, it's a fact. You can go online and file your tax. Stay home, don't worry, just relax. Stay safe and file your tax. Save money and time. You don't have to stand in line. Never miss a deadline. At GRA, you can file your tax online. The Optimal Revenue Management System is an improved and user-friendly software that facilitates online services and the management of your tax affairs from your homes or offices. With this powerful and flexible solution, we provide comprehensive and flexible online services, thereby reducing the cost of compliance. Visit the GRA resource page www.gra.gov.gy/optimal to find out more. Sign up and register for an Optimal account at eservices.gra.gov.gy. At GRA, you can file your tax online.
During this rather difficult period, the Guyana Revenue Authority wants to ensure that you complete a transaction as comfortably and speedily as possible. Drop by the Guyana Post Office Corporation anytime during working hours if you have to pay your internal revenue or your value-added taxes, your customs duties, or you can purchase your motor vehicle license. You can even drop in your tax returns there. You'll find us on the second floor of the Guyana Post Office Corporation using the Robb Street entrance.
The Central Registration Unit at the GRA's headquarters is improving its efficiency when it comes to the printing of TIN certificates. Here's how. The Guyana Revenue Authority issues a significant number of TIN certificates on a daily basis at its headquarters. From time to time, the organization would review its process with the aim of reducing the time it takes a taxpayer to uplift their certificate. Supervisor of Central Registration, Ms. Dolet Goring, tells us about the measures the authority has put in place to improve the efficiency in which TIN certificates are printed.
We have implemented our own cashier system, so it should be a little faster because the persons will have, after the TIN is being processed, There is the cashier right there. They can do the payments, and it should be a little faster.
The cashiering system, which was recently introduced, is dedicated to the processing of payments for tin applications.
After you verify the documents is processed, we give you a payment slip. You go to the cashier, she prints the certificate right there, and she gives it back. She gives it to you.
The implementation of a dedicated cashiering system is expected to greatly reduce the wait time of the taxpayer, Ms. Goring notes.
For somebody else to do the printing, they may be occupied doing something else, and that could delay the taxpayer a bit. And we understand that time is money. Time is of the essence, so we have tried to do things in order to reduce the waiting time for persons.
Taxpayers are reminded that tin applications are also being accepted online.
You can still send your applications via the email, which is filing@gra.gov.gy. Ensure that you fill all the information that is necessary for the tin to be issued, such as the purpose for the tin. You're required to submit a proof of your address, a valid form of ID, and when the tin is processed, we will inform you via email, and you come in and make the necessary payments.
The cost for an initial tin certificate is $1,000. The cost for a reprint of tin certificates that were damaged or lost is $2,000. Tin application forms for individuals and businesses, along with the list of required documents, can be found on the GRA's website, gra.gov.gy. 'Tis the season when there is an increase of personal effects that the GRA clears. Deputy Commissioner Rohan Biku explains the preparations the authority is putting in place to ensure your parcels and packages are cleared in a timely and safe manner.
They call it the peak season for a reason. It's one of the busiest times of the year in Guyana, when people from all ethnicities, classes, and creeds go into the shopping frenzy. September 19th marks the official start of the customary 100 days countdown to Christmas. But the month of December is when it all climaxes. The peak season is also when Customs, Excise, and Trade Operations would activate a standard operating procedure to cater for the usual influx of personal cargo.
I must say we do welcome the influx in movement of persons and goods. And as usual, Customs is ready. We are prepared. We have a series of measures.
Mr. Rohan Biku is the controller of GRA's Customs, Excise, and Trade Operations. He recently shared aspects of the peak season plan, which aims to expedite processing and clearance of cargo at the country's wharves, transit sheds, and international airports, while at the same time maximize revenue collection.
What we've been doing during the past few months this year is let's look at the barrel trade. There's always increases in gift packages, I should say, coming from North America and some other countries. The La Parca and GNIC, Jonfana, and some of the other main wharves, you would see an inflow of persons going to clear such goods. What we've done this year, we've implemented 2 barrel scanners or personal effect scanners, one at the GNIC wharf, La Parca wharf, and the other one at Jonfana's.
The barrel or personal effects scanner assists Customs in facilitating faster real-time examination of cargo that were destuffed from consolidated containers. The technology assists in greater verification and efficient clearance of personal effects, giving Customs more time to focus on consignments that are high risk or more revenue-oriented.
What this is going to do, basically, for the consolidated containers, more than half, sometimes more than half the containers, we realize that are the standard or normal gift packages. So those have a flat rate of duties that is applicable. Once they go through, we place a green sticker on those consignments, and then we don't need to see it back. Customs don't need to see it back. The agents go in as executor, put in their declaration, pay the fixed rate, we give a release, and that's it. So this frees up now our resources to run behind the high-risk cargo that are the main revenue earners, or to look for those that, may breach the laws in terms of restricted or prohibited items and so on.
On that account, Customs will boost its staff complement at the various ports of entry and put in overtime as the need arises.
We do have a plan. As I said, we don't want to create any red tape now that is going to impede the flow of or the smooth movements of goods. And this includes not only the personal effect goods. For commercial goods, we already have a risk-based system in place that we tweak constantly, and backed up by core revenue protection functions, which are the Central Revenue Processing Unit, the Law Enforcement and Investigation Division, and post-clearance audit. These are all driven by risk management to just target those consignments that are deemed as high risk, and most of the others are allowed to go green, backed up by post-clearance checks sometime down in the future. It means smooth movement, quicker access to goods by importers and exporters.
Personal effects cargo, which constitutes the majority of imports during the peak season, is any cargo of a non-commercial household nature shipped by air or sea, such as barrels, boxes, packages, and parcels. They attract a flat rate of duty as follows: extra large barrel or box, $4,000. Large barrel or box, $3,000. Medium barrel or box, $2,500. Average barrel or box, $2,000. And small barrel or box, $1,500. Should any item of a commercial nature be discovered in a shipment declared as personal effects, the importer will be made to pay the duty and taxes applicable to commercial cargo.
A reminder for all VAT registrants: failure to lodge a return within the time required is liable to a penalty of $1,000 per day for each day or part thereof the return remains outstanding, or 10% of the tax payable for the period of such return for each month or part thereof that the return remains outstanding, whichever is greater.
As a remigrant, you can import more than one vehicles and pay no import duties, no VAT, and reduce excise tax. However, the total exemption cannot exceed $5 million. If it does, you will have to pay the additional duties and taxes. Did I mention that returning students are also entitled to the same benefit 6 months after settling in the country? For additional information and assistance, contact us 227-6060, extension 1201 to 1204. When it comes to healthcare, we all want the best. The best hospitals, the best doctors, and the best treatment. But sometimes the best comes at a heavy cost. Well, the good news is you don't have to worry about VAT on medical, dental, hospital, optical, or paramedical services. There's also no VAT on orthopedic appliances like hearing aids or others that are implanted on the body to compensate for a defect or disability. Sounds like good news to help you feel better for the best.
The Ministry of Finance has projected the construction sector will grow by 19% for the remainder of the year after showing a strong performance in the first half of the year. Here is a list of all construction materials that no longer attract VAT. The government has zero-rated for the purpose of VAT a supply of locally produced sand, including loam and similar materials, asphalt, concrete blocks, plywood, logs and lumber of a type and quality used in construction and housing. Also zero-rated for the purpose of VAT are a supply of regionally produced stone for the purpose of construction and housing, and boulders for the purpose of construction of sea defense. Assistant Commissioner Lavina Walren cautions that the use of the phrase regionally produced refers to the Caribbean community or CARICOM.
Note it's produced, not sourced through. So on that point, I know some taxpayers may be of the opinion that they can purchase an item from another country out of CARICOM, ship it to a partner or themselves by another business name registered as another business within CARICOM, and then import it to Guyana. Note that that should not qualify since it's locally produced. The word produced, in other words, we expect it to be produced by a CARICOM member state to boost the regions. So just pay attention to the word locally produced and regionally produced.
Meanwhile, zero-rated for the purpose of VAT are supplies of locally produced pre-stressed concrete piles, fabricated and manufactured steel beams for building and construction, and the supply of spars, palings, staves, shingles, and wattles. A supply of locally manufactured roofing and PVC products and spars have also been zero-rated. Schedule 1 of the Value Added Tax Act outlines all the goods and services that have been zero-rated for VAT purposes. Finally, tax specialist Deslyn Best takes us through the steps of signing up for e-services in this week's question and answer segment.
Your question in focus this week is on the GRA's e-services platform, the Optimal Revenue Management System. And we have a question from Mr. Ron Prasad. He wants to know how to sign up for e-services. So I have Ms. Deslyn Best, a tax specialist from the GRA's Tax Advisory Services section, to answer that question. But before I go, Deslyn, welcome to the program. Let's establish, first of all, what is Optimal and the benefits of using this platform.
All right, so Optimal is a powerful and flexible tax revenue management system that drives up taxpayers' compliance and revenue collection. It is a complete rethink of the tax administration in view of a more modernized system. It improves customer service and interaction. It is fast, effective, and reliable. It allows you, as a taxpayer, to do online transactions such as submitting your PAYE Forms 2 and Forms 5, your income tax returns, your corporation tax return, your VAT and withholding tax return. Also, it allows you to view your tax history, and you can be at home and do all your GRA transaction from your own computer at your convenience.
So now to answer Ron Prasad's question, how to sign up for e-services?
The signing up process is pretty simple and straightforward. First, you go to our website, which is www.gra.gov.gy. You select e-services. Then you click on the link that's there. Click register for an account or create an account. You would be able to input your personal information such as your name, your date of birth, email address, password. There would be some security questions you select the answers to. You enter your TIN as the username. And after that, an activation link will be sent to your email. That's the email address that you provided. Then after you've done that, you click confirm email address, just to make sure that this is the email address that you want to use. Also, if you wish, you can go to our YouTube channel and view the video which gives you guidance on how to sign up first, and then you go through the signing up process. If you want, after you've signed in and you need to log into your account, the email address that you provided us with, we will send an email to you to activate your account. But you need to remember that you need to keep checking your account almost immediately after you have signed up, because GRA sends you an email and you have to respond to that email or go back into your account within 40 to 72 hours. Now, what you need to remember, if you do not, during this window time, the 40 to 72 hours that you did not activate your account, then you would have to use a different email address when you're signing up again. You will not be able to use that email address to sign up with GRA e-services again. So just remember to check your email almost immediately. The mail might be in your inbox. If not, you can check your spam or your junk mail. So we're going to go on to how can you log into your account. You must use your username, and your username is your TIN. Then you enter the password that you would have saved, and you click on login.
So Deslyn, Ron is asking how to go about linking his e-services account, but he really wants to know also, what does it mean to link an e-services account?
Linking your account is to verify that the information you provided is true and correct, and this is indeed the said taxpayer that registered for the account. That is why we ask you to provide a copy of your ID card, your passport, or your driver's license. To link the account, you go to inbox, select new messages. For the subject, you select taxpayer e-service registration from the drop-down arrow. Then you list the document you wish to upload, whether it's your ID card, whether it's your passport or your driver's license. You need to type in that box which document you're uploading. And that's the end of linking your account.
Great, thank you very much, Deslyn Best from the GRA's Tax Advisory Services section, answering Mr. Ron Passard on the GRA's e-services platform, the Optimal Revenue Management System. If you have other questions, feel free to contact us at the numbers listed at the end of our program.
And that's all for this week's Focus on GRA. You can visit our website for more information, gra.gov.gy, or send us an email at grapublicrelations@gmail.com. Don't forget you can also follow us on our social media pages for up-to-date tax-related information. Thank you for watching. I'm Tiffny Rhodius. Stay safe, everyone.